Ah, whippets, these gentle, sweet, dramatic, emotional souls. How many of you own one who at least once in their life decided that something, at first glance insignificant, is terrifying to them? How many of you have witnessed how a minor inconvenience makes them dislike a place, an item, or another dog or person? Let's talk about how I've helped my youngest Whippet overcome every fear she's had, and hopefully it will be useful to you and your puppies so that they're more confident and a little less predisposed to overreacting as they grow up. If you're new here, I'm Addie and I've had Whippets for 16 years. I've been owned by 10 of them, currently 6, and I make breed-specific videos to help existing and future Whippet owners. If that's your type of content or you want to learn more about the breed, you can subscribe and join our growing Whippet family. We're continuing with the series on the methods I used and the rules I followed that helped me shape our youngest Whippet Eris into the wonderful, confident adult she grew up to be. Having had experiences with my other Whippets when they were mentally scarred by something as adults, and I couldn't fully help them overcome the fears that caused it, I was terrified that something similar could happen to Eris. And as I said last time, I'm a mere human being and I've made mistakes, and with every next Whippet we raise, I make sure to not repeat them. Ever since Eris entered my life, I wanted her to be fearless and bulletproof. Every place I took her and everything I did with her was well calculated in advance, to the tiniest detail. I haven't left anything to chance. Throughout the whole journey, I've been so afraid something could go wrong, something unpredictable that could ruin everything. And in fact, something did happen last October and it nearly ruined everything, but I'll leave this story for the end of the video. Here are a few simple rules I follow. Fear is a normal behavior in dogs. It's essential for survival. And if you own a Whippet, you will inevitably come across something they're unsure about or afraid of, considering how emotional they are. Maybe your puppy is scared of the paper bag you pulled from the counter out of nowhere, or the vacuum cleaner. I think most puppies are scared of them, just like most kids are scared of the monster under their bed. Some puppies also go through fear periods, and usually 2 of them are observed, between 8 to 11 weeks of age and between 6 to 14 months. You can't explain to them with simple words that being afraid of objects that won't eat them is unreasonable. They have a different understanding of the surrounding world than us. Heck, Eris recently decided my AirPods look like a threat. However, you can show them and teach them, and the more fears they overcome, the more confident they will grow. Never punish them for showing signs of fear, but also let's say you have a young Whippet that sees a balloon for the first time and shows signs of fear. Eris saw a kid with balloons once when she was younger and she tried to opt out of the situation. And you decide you won't do anything about it, so you just walk away with your pup. Maybe you don't want to deal with this right now, or you believe they will grow out of it, or they will never see a balloon again anyway. Well, you just showed them their fears are justified and missed an opportunity to add a building block to their confidence. Anytime I've come across something that scared Eris, my mission has always been to help her overcome it and get over it. In my head, there is no will she, but she will, and I'll help her. When I decided to make this ornament a part of my videos and Eris saw it for the first time at 7 months of age, she hated it. It was scary. Seriously, Eris, let's deal with this. But no matter how long I let her investigate it for, she just wouldn't approach it. So treats came into play. By far, Eris is not food motivated, but every once in a while they help. So I stood there for as long as I had to throwing treats. At first, she didn't trust it completely, but we had a solid improvement. And at the end, she no longer cared, and to this day, she never even notices it. Now is the time to mention whenever there is something she's afraid of or startled by, I wear a stone face. In a previous video, I told you she reads my facial expressions, and if she hears or sees something strange, she looks at me first. Depending on my reaction, she knows if it's something worth worrying about. And often it's hard to not react. Like this one time we were in the ring at the show and right behind us a large dog attacked another dog. I kept my cool, she looked at me, she saw no reaction, so she calmly observed. The other dog was fine and we moved on. For her sake, I had to remain calm like nothing ever happened because she soaks up all of my emotions like a sponge. I'm not a fan of causing excitement, but sometimes it comes in handy. She was still a puppy and new neighbors moved in next door after the house has been empty for a long time. She wasn't used to seeing people on the balcony of that house, so she hid under the desk. No way on earth, Eris. So I went outside and called her to play. She can't resist a cool toy and she gave in and ran outside to have fun. I tricked her into being excited and play even closer to those strangers. Afterwards, she got curious and sat outside to watch them. On her first New Year's Eve, I used the same approach. Exactly at 12 a.m., instead of cheering and drinking champagne, I made her excited and we played. I wanted to show her fireworks are nothing to worry about. Even better, as soon as we hear them, we make a party. I've done this with all of my whippets when they were youngsters, and except for Skylar, no one else cares about fireworks, but she had a nasty experience. In short, we live in a neighborhood where people feel the need to celebrate everything with fireworks. One time she was out in the garden during the day, and out of nowhere they started blasting nearby. She happened to be at a place where she felt trapped, on top of being caught by surprise, and she went into a state of a full-blown panic. And there you have it. Trauma for life, caused by something stupid and unpredictable. However, with every next year, she minds less and less. Back to the rules, I never comfort Eris for being afraid of something. No sweet talking, no petting, no hugging. I know it sounds cruel, but it's a golden rule in my experience. With how emotional whippets are, it's very easy to cause drama for nothing by sweet talking at the wrong time. Here, Jamie is getting nervous, dinner is late, and my baby talk even made her shiver. I can't show you a better proof than that. And I also never force Eris to engage in something she is afraid of or unsure about. I help her build the courage to approach it on her own whenever she's ready. And once she is, I make a huge deal out of it with a lot of praising and rewards. Reward your whippets at the right time. If Eris got a paycheck at this moment, it would have been counterproductive as she was still hesitant and showed no actual progress. You don't want to pay for the wrong behavior, and this applies to everything. And I always remain calm. Yes, making little to no progress in trying to show them a silly little item is not going to harm them can be frustrating. But it's not their fault. Puppies have no jobs or obligations. We do. One of them is to be understanding, sweet, patient, and calm while we are teaching them about the world. On to the story I promised. Eris, as you know, is a very confident whippet. There are few things in existence that could shake her mental stability. I've worked on every little detail to achieve this, but last October, my usual show team, aka me, my mom, and my sister, took Eris to shows in Greece, where she did some significant winning. On Saturday after the show, we drove to a village nearby to take a walk by the seaside. Everything was wonderful, the weather was lovely, and after an hour of exploring, we wanted to walk through this thing. Please tell me what it's called, as for the life of me, I don't know the English word for it. So we go, and we're not even 10 meters in when a young boy stops us and starts talking to me. My brother is getting married and there will be fireworks here. Can you leave? Sure thing. How much time do we have? 5 minutes, he says. Great. Plenty of time to go far away so we can be at a safe distance where Eris won't care. She never cared about fireworks anyway, but she's never heard or seen them from so close. So we'd better be far enough, not taking any chances. And we immediately turn around and start walking back. Right then and there, fireworks start blasting right behind our backs. We had no chance not to just get far away, but to even walk 2 meters past it. Right behind us, there was this lady holding a small white dog, which was horrified. The poor thing screamed its lungs out in terror. Never in my life have I ever heard a dog scream in such distress. And Eris, she was convinced she was in the middle of a war zone. She thought the end of the world is coming. Fireworks blasting, another dog screaming for its life. Well, that must be it. I've never seen her so distressed and so scared ever. We walked back at a moderate pace because we didn't want to add up to the horror and didn't want her to think we were in a panic as well. Meanwhile, she was pulling, whining, lunging, fighting for her life. And the whole way, which wasn't that long, all I could think about was, that was it. My bomb-proof, confident Whippet is ruined. Everything I worked for so hard, day and night, for almost 2 years is now gone, thanks to a stupid incident. Once we were back on the sidewalk, everything stopped. We stood there and waited until she calmed down, because the worst thing we could have done at this time was to leave, jump in the car and drive away. Then me, my mom and my sister worked as a team and attempted to make her excited and initiated play. It didn't help much, but we did our best. It was time to deal with the first thing that could cause trauma for life, the place it happened. We took her back for a walk there. We slowly and calmly walked all the way to the end and back, and every time she showed curiosity and willingness to sniff and investigate, we praised her big time. She didn't try to escape, and she wasn't pulling on the way back, which made me feel a little better. We took an extra 1-hour walk along the coast, she met some sweet dogs, we bought dinner and drove back to the hotel. She acted completely fine. The next day, she showed her socks off as usual and even won Best in Show third. A week later, we went to the park for our usual Whippet playdate, and just as we were about to leave, some kids nearby blew up firecrackers. All I could think about was, you've got to be kidding me. Addie started whining and pulling towards the car. Just fantastic. We waited until she calmed down and then went to the car and drove away. I had to start making a plan for New Year's Eve, as by the looks of it, it was going to be a nightmare without a solid action plan. New Year's Eve arrives and I arm myself with exciting toys and an action plan to make the best party of Eris's life as soon as the fireworks start. I wish I could play it with sound, but there is copyrighted music in the background, so I can't. At first, she wasn't sure whether to focus on being scared or playtime, but she gave in and played, and the other girls were very helpful. Bravo! 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 After a while, she got tired and just listened. Keep in mind that here fireworks continue for 2 to 3 hours after midnight. At the end, she stopped caring, which is exactly what I was aiming for. Neighbors still celebrate with fireworks, but she has so far shown me she doesn't mind, so I think we won this one. I've analyzed the whole ordeal a lot, and a few factors were crucial in my opinion. First, we remained calm and didn't feed her panic further. We acted like nothing happened, waited for as long as it took for her to calm down, and insisted on going back to the place where the horror happened, and didn't leave until she was completely relaxed. Then we made a long, distracting walk where she could experience something positive, interesting sights, smells, and friendly dogs. And we followed through with an action plan that worked for her. I don't know if it would work for your Whippets, but playtime and toys are her weak spot. She lives for having fun, and I use this as a helping hand a lot. My mindset was also crucial. No matter what I've been trying to achieve with her, in my mind, ifs and maybes do not exist. We can do it and we will do it is all I can think of. This plan just had to work. And last but not least, the hard work on fear management and socialization since the beginning played a huge part. If there is one thing this story can teach you, let it be that. You can work your butts off in raising your Whippets in the best way possible. But sometimes you can find yourself in an unfortunate, silly situation that can try to ruin everything for you and your Whippet, even after they've grown up. What matters is what you've done so far, how you handled the challenge, and what you will do to tackle it. Last time we talked about the importance of desensitization, so if you haven't watched it, I will leave it somewhere here for you. Let me know if you have any questions. I wish you a wonderful weekend, a fantastic week afterwards, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye bye!